The scheduling matrix for the West Virginia men's basketball team was revealed last week. And in this episode of Couz's Corner, we're going to talk about what it means for the Mountaineer squad going into the 25-26 college basketball season under first-year head coach Ross Hodge. Let's have that discussion. I'll give you my thoughts on this schedule and why it lines up really well for the Mountaineers. Let's have that conversation right after this. Hey, do me a favor. Go check out my good friends over at Appalachia Digital. If you need a brand new website for your small business, or if you're just looking to get found easier on Google, go check out appalachiadigital.com/Couz. These are the fine folks who designed my brand new website over at WVSportsChat.com. They did a fantastic job. I love their work. I think you will too. So go check them out. appalachiadigital.com/Couz. Let them know Couz sent you. Now let's get back to the show. We're focusing on the West Virginia men's basketball team and their scheduling matrix for the 2025-26, and this is the Big 12 scheduling matrix, by the way, for the 25-26 college basketball season. And I think this lines up really, really well for the Mountaineers. And the reason I think that is this. First off, when you look at it here, you can see, and let me scroll a little bit so you can see it better. But as you see here, they have, they're going back to 18 conference games. They're getting away from the 20 conference games. They tried that a year ago. I guess they didn't like it. I kind of agree with going back to 18. It's my understanding that most of the other power leagues are doing 18 conference games. So why should the Big 12 be any different and do 20? You just get your teams beat up before they go into the postseason, and I think it hurts them going into the postseason. Now, why does this schedule line up well for West Virginia? Number one, the three teams that they play twice, because each team has to play three teams twice. The three they play twice are three of their closest opponents, two of them being their other two Eastern time zone opponents in UCF and Cincinnati, which limits travel, or at least limits it to a degree. And the other one being Kansas State, who's one of the closer ones in the traditional Big 12. I'll tell you another reason I like this schedule and the way it lays out for West Virginia. When you look at the teams they play home versus away one time, which is the other 12 teams in the conference, besides the three I just mentioned, they play them each one time. And it's either home or away. When you look at their home games, look who it's against. Colorado, they don't have to go out west to Colorado. Kansas. So their only game against the Jayhawks is in Morgantown. That means they don't have to go to Allen Fieldhouse again in 2025-26. They play BYU at home, who's another team who's expected to compete for a Big 12 title again in 2025-26. They have an awesome recruiting class and transfer portal class coming in. They should be really good again. West Virginia doesn't have to go to Provo. That's an advantage. Texas Tech, another team who's likely going to be really good. West Virginia doesn't have to go to Lubbock, one of the hardest home court advantages in the country. The Red Raiders have to come to Morgantown. They also get Baylor at home and Utah at home. Baylor, another team who's likely going to be good. West Virginia don't have to go there. And then Utah. Again, they don't have to make that western trip to Utah this year. And I mentioned that they get Kansas State, UCF, and Cincinnati in a home and home. Now, even though they don't have to go to Utah, they do have to go out west at least one time to face the Arizona schools. Now, even though the times and dates haven't been announced yet, West Virginia will likely be making that in one trip. They will likely play Arizona and Arizona State in back-to-back games, maybe even on a Saturday, Monday, or a Saturday, Tuesday, something like that. So they only have to travel into the Western time zone, the Pacific time zone, I guess. I don't know. Heck, I don't know. I can't keep track of what Arizona's time zones are because they're different than everybody else. But they only have to travel out west to the far west one time in 2025-26. It's my understanding, if I recall, last year they had to do it twice. They only have to do it once in 25-26. Now, they do unfortunately have to play Arizona, who's likely going to be really good again. They unfortunately have to play them on the road, but I would rather do it. I'd rather only have to go out west once. They do have to go to Ames and play the Iowa State Cyclones. That'll be a tough road contest. And they do have to go to Houston. So two teams who are likely going to be really good again next year, including Houston, who made it to the national finals game and I mean, lost in a heartbreaking fashion, but did make it to the national championship. Houston. West Virginia has to go there. And they have to go to Ames to play Iowa State. But when you look at their other road games, Oklahoma State, Arizona State, TCU, those games, at least on paper, should be winnable games for West Virginia. Those teams don't scare me when I see them on the schedule, to be honest. No offense. Now I don't think they're going to be terrible teams, but I do. When you look at what the roster West Virginia is going to have and type of coach Ross Hodge is, I think those are very winnable games. Now, conversely, if I looked at that and if I was looking at Texas Tech on the road or BYU on the road or Kansas on the road, I'm not looking at those as winnable games, to be honest with you. But I look at Oklahoma State, TCU, and Arizona State all as winnable, more winnable than the other three. And again, they had the home and home with Kansas State, UCF, and Cincinnati. So I like the way this schedule lays out. Now, it'll be interesting to see the dates of these games. Will they get the Arizona State games in one trip? I would assume so. If not, it'll be a little tougher to manage it. But I like the way it lays out. Again, to rehash it, they get the 2 Eastern time zone opponents twice, which limits their travel out west. They only have to go to the far west, to the Four Corner schools once, hopefully. And that's against Arizona State, which will likely be done in one road trip. They don't have to go to Colorado, don't have to go to Utah, the state of Utah at all, because they play both Utah and BYU at home only. They don't have to go to Allen Fieldhouse, and they don't have to go to Lubbock nor Waco. I love how that plays out. Really, I look at this, they really only have 3, maybe 4 extremely tough road games. And that is Iowa State, Houston, Arizona, and I'll throw Kansas State in there as a really tough road opponent. But I really, really like how this schedule lays out, at least so far, when you look at the matrix, the Big 12 scheduling matrix, how this lays out for this West Virginia Mountaineer men's basketball team in 2025, 26. But what do you think? Do you think this lays out well for West Virginia, or am I being too positive about it? Let me know in the comment section what you think about this schedule for the Mountaineers. I want to hear it. I want to give a quick shout out to Appalachia Digital, the other sponsor of this channel. Hit them up for your website needs, whether you're building a new site or wanting to get found more on Google. Go to appalachiadigital.com/Couz. Shout out to my paid VIP members of this episode. They are Shaq, Okie King, Crispy, OO, WVU Earl, and Browns and Beers. Thank you all for your support. Reminder to hit the thumbs up on this video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and please make sure you turn on your notification bell and make sure notifications are on your device so you'll be notified of future uploads and future live streams that I may do going forward. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting everything I do. Until next time, Q Country Roads.